pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
In the district and on the district website. Do I have a motion to adopt the agenda as posted?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Could I have a roll call vote, please?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. At this time, Mrs. Madrusik will present the tax rate hearing to the board. After the presentation, the board will have an opportunity for questions and comments. After that, we will provide 15 minutes for audience questions and 3 minutes per person. If you wish to address the board regarding the tax hearing, please fill out a comment card. We ask that you only address the questions or comments regarding the tax rate hearing. So at this time, Mrs. Madrusik, would you please present?
Good evening, board and public. We're here tonight to set the tax rate for the school district. Thank you. We are, as a school district, required by law to set a tax rate every year. We do set a tax rate on both our operating levy, which is our operating funds which run the school district, and we also set a levy for our debt service, which is used to pay the principal and interest on our bonds. Before the tax rate can be approved, the district must hold at least one public hearing with information on these rates, and that hearing is actually right now. Notice was posted 7 days prior on September 17th, and it was posted at the Florissant City Hall, Berkeley City Hall, Ferguson City Hall, Ferguson Public Library, and it was also posted online and at the Administration Center. We are required to provide information on the different assessments and the different categories. We have 4 categories that are taxed: residential property, commercial property, agricultural property, and personal property. We are required to report on the anticipated revenue that is generated by the proposed assessed value and tax rate. We are also required to provide the proposed tax rates by fund. We do need to identify also the portion that comes out from the new construction and reassessment of the property. There is actually a process that we go through to set this tax levy. We do receive information from the state auditor's office, and we review it to make sure that it's correct. We collect the data from the county. This year we did receive information on September 1st. It wasn't quite all there, so we did receive more information on September 15th, and at that time I was able to perform a tax levy calculation using the calculator from the state auditor's website. We did publicize the hearing 7 days in advance, and afterwards, and also before we did this, I submitted the tax rate calculations to the state auditor's office for their review. Now we are holding the tax rate hearing, and hopefully we'll set a new tax rate tonight. And after we do that, I will submit the tax rate information to the St. Louis County Clerk, where they will review it, and then they send it to the state auditor's office to have the rate certified. And then this rate is what is assessed on the December bills, and it's the same year in which the rate is authorized. Collections will begin as early as November, and any collections that were received after June 30 are considered delinquent. So every odd year, the County Assessor's Department completes a reassessment of property throughout the county, and this was 2019, so we did have a reassessment of all of the properties in our school district boundaries. And as we know, the assessments did increase significantly. Now, our highest point of assessment was back in the 2007-8 year, and since then it decreased significantly because of the market crash and the housing crash. And so we had an all-time low of about $881 million back in 2015. Since 2015, the assessments have turned around and they've been steadily increasing. And since the last 2 years, or the last reassessment, they did increase significantly. We are currently back to the assessment that we had in the 2010 school year, so they are steadily rising back up. So, as of this point, because of the increase in assessments, we are required to roll back our tax rate. We are not allowed to assess the higher tax rate with the increase in the assessments. As the assessments go up, then we need to lower our tax rate. So we cannot increase the tax rate higher than what the lower is, 5%, or the CPI, which this year it's 1.9%. So we cannot increase our tax rate by more than 1.9%. And the same would be if we were to see, as we saw significant declines in our assessments, we would be able to increase our tax rate. But the case is right now that we would lower our tax rate. So our assessment for this year, the information that we received from the county is our assessments on the roll were $805,940,530. We do have to reduce it by the TIF, tax increment financing properties that we have, and that's about $47 million. So our total real estate assessment was $758,019,540. We also have an assessment of $309,332,970 for personal property. Now, as you can see, we put our assessments from both years. So we have the current year of 2019 and then the prior year of 2018. As you can see, the residential rate increased by 13.5% from the prior year. Our commercial property increased by 11.22% from the prior year. And personal property did increase by 3.22% from the prior year. So we had a total assessment increase of 8.86%. And our total assessment this year was $1,067,352,510. Now, of that, we need to report out how much income that will bring. So our collections from the prior year have decreased, actually, because as I said, as the assessments go up, the tax rate does have to go down. But because the assessments went up, it also increases the amount of money that is collected. So for residential, we will receive about $245,000 more than we did the prior year. We are going to see a slight decrease in agriculture. Our commercial property revenue will go up by about $480,000, and our personal property income will increase by about $380,000. So our total revenue increase will be about $1.1 million. Of that $1.1 million, $668,000 of it was generated from new construction. So as new construction is done, it goes on to our tax rolls, and so we will receive that much additional revenue from that. So the percentage of revenue increase from the reassessment was about 0.87%. Now, the district does set different tax rates for the various classifications of property, and so we do set it for the residential, commercial, agriculture, and personal property. They will each have a different rate, but for budgeting purposes, we do use a blended rate. Our proposed tax rate for 2019 will be $4.53 for residential, $1.97 for agriculture, $4.88 for commercial, and $5.24 for personal property. We will also assess a 30-cent debt service fund, and our proposed blended rate will be $5.14. Now, when we look at that compared to last year, this is where you will see the decrease in our tax rate. So our tax rate for residential will go down about 12 cents from the prior year. It was $5.17 last year. It'll be $4.53 this year. For agricultural, it'll go down about 25%. Our commercial rate will go down about 6%, and our personal property rate will remain the same, and also the debt service fund will remain the same. Our blended tax rate will be about 35 cents less than it was the prior year. And also, it's important to note that we have this mandated Hancock rollback of our tax rate, but we as a district have also voluntarily rolled back our tax rate since the 2014-15 school year, and we did voluntarily roll back our rate again this year. So our proposed tax rate by fund, the general fund will have $2.20 going towards it. The special fund will have $2.64 going towards it, for a total operating levy of $4.84. And again, the debt service levy is 30 cents. Which our total generated revenue from the proposed levy, with the information that we received as of September 15th, is a total assessment was $1,067,352.510. Our proposed tax rate will bring in, at a 94% collection rate, about $51.5 million. And broken down into the different funds, you'll see that $23.4 million will go into the general fund, $28.2 million will go into the special fund, and $3.2 million will go into the debt service fund. And again, that $3.2 million will be used to pay the principal and interest on our bonds. These numbers are estimates. They are what we will turn into the county. However, they can change a little bit once we receive the final assessments that are sent out to these dollar numbers at least. Our tax rate will stay the same, but our assessments might change a little bit. Does anybody have, so administration is recommending that the Ferguson-Florissant School District tax levy be approved as follows. The operating fund will be $4.84. The debt service fund will be 30 cents for a total tax rate of $5.14. Now, does anybody have any questions?
Do we have any properties that are attesting their?
There are a lot of properties, actually, that's a great question, thank you. We actually don't, they are still in the process of reviewing those. There were a lot of properties that did contest their taxes. However, I won't have that information because the county didn't have it. It wasn't completed by the Board of Equalization yet. So they are wrapping all of those up, and they will be sending us that information soon. But they did have quite an increase because across the county, assessments were increased by so much. So everybody's contesting their taxes this year. Not everybody, but a lot of people are. And typically, we have about $8 million of contested taxes every year, so.
And the new construction that took place, were those done in TIF districts? Is that taken into account?
The new construction is actually not in the TIF districts, and
Okay.
so yes.
Okay.
So that would have been like your Chick-fil-A's and things like that throughout our area.
Okay.
Erica Williams, 1620 Zurich Drive, Florissant, Missouri 63031. You're welcome. Okay, I was just wondering how the new tax rate will impact the district budget. Will it leave a shortfall, an overage? Can you guys discuss that, or can you discuss that?
So we will receive an additional, like $1.1 million, anticipated $1.1 million. We did have a balanced budget, and actually my budget included about $800,000, so we'll anticipate to receive a little bit more revenue, so we're hoping that our budget will be balanced with this additional revenue. So, uh-huh. Thank you so much. Thank Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, everybody who came.